take you through a walk-through time. So Matthew talked about how the Aboriginals used to make maple syrup. They didn't have any metal containers thing. Then Uncle Bud explained the 3-pot method. And as he said, the primary kettle was 2 days, the secondary kettle another 2 days, and the finishing pot 1 to 2 days. So great. Once you do your math, that's 6 days. So that's a lot of work just to make maple syrup. So somebody came up with the idea with the flat pan. Now think about it. Red-winged blackbird has red wings, the name of a red-winged blackbird. Flat bottom, flat pan. It's funny how our English language works that way. Well, we have a fire burning from this end to that end, almost the entire width of the flat pan. So all that intense heat is increasing the amount of evaporation. The more evaporation you have, the quicker the sap turns to maple syrup. And probably, you know, I've had a lot of groups that go through here and say, you know, my grandpa has that out in the farm, out in the bush. Because, and Farmer Joe works long and hard out here in the sugar bush. And Farmer Joe is sound asleep. When we get to Farmer Joe, I'm going to 1, 2, 3. And on 3, as loud as you can, so Mr. LeBlanc can hear you back at the Mount Amaranth School. I want you to shout, "Wake up, Farmer Joe!" Can we do that?
Wake
up! Wait till I count to 3. Wake up, Farmer Joe! I wasn't sleeping, I was working hard, as you can see. Well, maybe I could doze off for a second. But you know, I tell you, I've done my work around here. Look around in the forest at all the pails hanging from the trees. I've hung them up, and way all over there I've hung up all the pails, and it's a lot of work carrying that sap in, but hey, there's a new way to collect sap, and it's this way, the pipeline method. Look way up Sugar Mountain, and you can see all the trees we've tapped with this pipeline and special files, and it drains to this black line, and just stay there, and just finally, after a whole week of cold weather, my question. Finally, it's to back up, and you'll see better that way. And you can see the sap dripping from this main pipeline. And soon, 8 days. 8 days. It's been 8 days. We've been waiting for the sap. Finally, it's come. Well, just like you guys, which is great that you would have helped me carry the sap in from those pails, wouldn't you have? Yes, Farmer Joe. Good. Well, then, if you have admitted to that, then I can show you. And yeah, so really what we do with this is evaporate the water from the sap. What's left behind is syrup. You know, if we were to rename it, I bet it should be called a saperator, don't you think?
I got some paperwork.
Well, outside the building we got a big tank. We pump the sap up there, and then that sap travels on a long journey through this machine. About 8 meters of channel. The sap's on a journey. And when the sap gets to here, and the temperature is 7 degrees Fahrenheit above the boiling point of water, I'd open up this valve, and out would come syrup. Good aromatherapy, don't you think? Well, you see, I'm a proud Canadian, as I'm sure you guys are too. Proud to realize we've got a great country, Canada, but we also make more syrup than any other country in the world. So really, it's a Canadian industry, and also part of our heritage. Hence the sugar maple leaf on our flag. Think about it. It all boils down to this. Maple syrup. In other words, in order to make this much maple syrup, look at this. I have to boil, collect, and boil that much sap. And that's why around here we don't call it maple syrup, we call it liquid gold because of the time and energy it takes to make.